What's up, guys? It's Skillzerk. I'm playing Metal Gear Solid Survive, the beta. So today, I want to talk a bit about a problem I've been living with for the past 15 years. This isn't a Cry Me a River story for pity or something like that. It's just a story that hopefully gets better in time. The story would be too long to go into full detail, so I'll shorten it where possible. Let's begin. So the past 15 years, I've been a victim to a fake victim female stalker. Now I know exactly how that sounds when I say it. It sounds ridiculous. Now, we've all heard the horror stories. A man gets convicted for 20 years life sentence, and later they find out he's innocent. He has no job history, no credit, blank slate, and just tells him, "Hey, we found out you're not a criminal." Lets him out. He's on his own. He's screwed. His life's over at that point. But they think it's fine to just let him out of prison. He doesn't get any pension, no money. And really, the person who started that and got him in trouble for something he didn't do, nothing ever happens to them, even though I'd like to see that change. So, I'm not in that position, but I'm stones away from a fate that's just as bad, or at least with several of the same consequences, for being nothing more than a victim to a liar. So I guess that's kind of the same case. So, a victim of a fake victim. To start off, I'm in no way against men, women, troglodytes, reptiles, what have you, but where I live, the scale has always been tipped towards women. So, they can say anything, not have evidence, and people will take their word over your life most of the time, so long as, it's a woman saying something against a guy. And most of the time, you don't even know the rumors are being spread. All you know is people are turning against you, and you have no idea why. So, since age 16, this mentally ill troglodyte has been telling the world I'm her stalker for God even knows why. And up till a few months till now, or from, I don't even know what I'm saying, up until a few months ago, I had no idea what she was doing. I just knew that for some reason, everyone I knew just started turning against me because of her. They end up meeting her and they end up going against me. So it's kind of weird. But the long story short is all the friends I've had, all the family I had, all the 6 people I actually ever dated in my entire life, all of them somehow ended up meeting her, and as soon as they met her, a week later, they turned against me. And up until like 2 months ago, I didn't even know why that was. I just knew that they ended up meeting her, and while they're on her Facebook friends list, even though I've known them longer than her, I didn't know why they were ditching me. I just knew that it was something she was doing. And I just, for some reason, wasn't brilliant enough to figure out that, hey, she's playing a victim or being a liar and pretending to be a victim of something that's nothing more than her mental delusions. So, I did meet her a long time ago, in 2004, which is probably why this has been going on for so long. In 2004, long story short, from my past life is I used to live a pretty tortured life. I was the bullied kid in school. Yeah, that skinny emo kid, that was me. The guy who got beat up by all the Samoans, which is great. And no, I'm not against Samoans. Samoans are my neighbors. They're actually pretty cool guys. But in school, I was just that guy that got ganked. Good. Well, that doesn't really matter to me. That was in the past, and it doesn't really affect my life now. I met her in 2004, and since I, at that time, I was at the point where I haven't been bullied for 6 months or so before I met her, and I just haven't been bullied since then. And, yeah, it's not a part of my life anymore. But at that point, I was so used to being bullied that I was used to telling people that if they ever wanted me gone, just tell me to leave and I'd be gone. I wouldn't bother them again. And I kept my word. That's just how I am. If someone says leave, I'm gone. So she woke up one day in a bad mood. I guess maybe she had a bad day at work, something happened. Whatever happened, she said to leave. And so I left. I didn't say anything. I just left, deleted her off my MySpace, didn't talk to her in person, and I didn't talk to her for like 5 years. But I noticed about a week later that the friends I've known for years, like 10, 12 years before I even met her, like back in kindergarten, these are people I've known forever. So I noticed a week after leaving when she said to, that these people were turning against me. They'd come up to me for no reason and just say, hey, we can't be friends anymore. And that was it. They wouldn't tell me why, they wouldn't talk it out, they'd just say we can't be friends. And I noticed that they'd all be on her friends list, or that she would have met them at some point before that happened. I didn't know what was up. I just knew that I knew around 5 years later when I figured out that everyone that left was on her friends list and that they knew her somehow. All I knew is that she just somehow knew all the people that left. So, to my suspicion, I was thinking, there must be something she's doing to make them leave if they all somehow only know her and no one else I've ever met. And so I decided, alright, let's go be this person's friend again. I didn't want to try to cause problems because, what if I was wrong and what if it wasn't her fault? And I had no evidence at that point. That's just the deepest conclusion I could find. So I was going with it. And so I decided to try to be her friend again. And she has this thing where she'll add you for like a week and then she'll delete you. Or at least that's what she was doing to me. I couldn't figure out what it was. We'd talk, it'd be a normal conversation. I'd have no idea what she was doing. And up until around 2 months ago, I had no idea what she was doing. I just knew she was doing something. So, upon asking her why she was against me for all this time, or why she always deleted me, or had these problems, her only answer to that is, I am evil. That's what she'd say is I'm evil, so in her case, she's telling me that she's evil, if that makes any sense. So, 2 months ago, her twin sister adds me on Instagram. We all live in the same state, so it's no doubt that this is going to happen. But her twin sister adds me, and somehow everyone involved in this scenario just tends to add me. The people she lies to and says I'm her stalker, so on, tend to add me on Facebook, and everyone tries to talk to me and tell me I'm doing such a bad thing and I need to leave her alone, and I'm not even there though. Like I've been listening to the bad ideas from other people. Just ignore her and let it go. And I could explain a long story to why that's not a good idea and why it doesn't matter whether I ignore her or not. But I'm not going to right now. If someone wants to go through the full story later, I can explain why it's just not going to change anything whether I ignore it or not. But for the longest time and even now, I'm just ignoring it, and I have other goals to go on. So I met her sister around 2 months ago. She added me, we talked, and after a long discussion, I find out that every day, including today, she's been telling people that I'm her stalker. I don't know what else she tells me. I just know that she says I'm her stalker. And she plays a very good victim. She's a good liar. Her voice is very good for pretending to be this victimized person in a bad situation. And since it's all a lie, all I can really do is sit here and be this really bad person in everyone's mind. Well, no one actually comes to me. No one talks about it. No one sees my side of the story, or even sees if any of it's true. They just they hear I'm such a bad person. They go with it, and here I am. So the long story short is, I have no friends. I have no family. I have me. I'm just alone, a solo guy in life, and I can't really make friends. And I can't date anyone, because anyone I make friends with, anyone I date that's in Alaska, she'll find a way to add them, to meet them, and she'll pretend to be this victim, and people just go with it. So I joined YouTube's, and I joined YouTube in hopes that someday I'll make friends that would take the time to see through the stories, find out the truth, or at least talk it out before just leaving. That's basically the end of my story. There's a little bit left in this gameplay, so I'm gonna finish this level, and I guess that's it. That's my story. Let's go and kick this guy. I guess I have to resurrect this guy, even though he shot me before the game. But alright, you're up, Danny boy. I'm surprised he didn't take my mech when he got up. Yeah, I guess sometimes I can be a troll in a video game if no one's listening. I was actually trying to talk to these guys on the mic while I was playing, and yeah, I just didn't get any contact with these guys. Alright, there goes my mech. See, I don't know what happened there. Like, I'm sitting there on the mech, and I just fly out of the mech. Like, why? I was supposed to actually kick him and move, but I guess whatever the guy behind me did knocked me out of the mech. Takes some real skill whenever I can swing that hammer and miss all four of you guys, but alright, that's cool too. The wave's over. But we did get an S, so I guess that's good enough. It's about the end of this video. Bye.